Oh, okay. Let's read this one. Let me pull it up on a different tab first, but okay. Okay. Um so this is an article by The Guardian. This is about the recent Michigan synagogue attack. Uh we're learning more information about the man who did that. Um So I'd like to read through this one, hopefully give some good commentary because I don't know. I think that I've said before that like Israel is like a anti-Semitism export machine. Like that's like their primary export is anti-Semitism. So um I kind of view this as like another bad terrible thing that happened because of the amount of anti-Semitism that's being, you know, in my opinion, intentionally created by the state of Israel. But let's see what this article says. Suspect in Michigan synagogue attack had lost family in Israeli strike on Lebanon. Ayman Mohammed Ghazali, who was born in Lebanon and became a naturalized U.S. citizen, lost two brothers, a niece, and a nephew in the airstrike. That's very sad. The armed suspect, who drove a vehicle into the hallway of a large Michigan synagogue complex that includes a school, had lost four family members in an Israeli airstrike in his native Lebanon just last week, an official said on Friday. A potential mass casualty event was averted when security guards already in place at Temple Israel in West Bloomfield Township on the outskirts of Detroit killed the driver before any harm could come to the synagogue staff, teacher, and 140 children at the early childhood center there on Thursday afternoon. Thank God. Like I mean, like it sucks, that this happened or whatever, but thank God it wasn't a whole lot worse. The suspect was later named by the authorities as Ayman Mohammed Ghazali, 41, who was born in Lebanon and had become a naturalized U.S. citizen. The FBI, which is leading the investigation, described the attack on one of the nation's largest Reform synagogues as an act of violence targeting the Jewish community. Yeah, I mean it was. It was. The thing that needs to always be remembered though is that this anti-Semitism and like the average, well, I guess okay. This man was, it sounds like, a Lebanese citizen or like was Lebanese. He came from Lebanon. Israel is currently committing genocide against the Lebanese people. Israel also says that all of its genocide, everything it does, is in the name of Jews. And I do unfortunately think that a lot of people believe that. Not everybody has as good or nuanced view of this as I do, where I can separate, and I hope hopefully people out there who are listening to this too can separate the Jewish people from the state of Israel. And I know it gets harder and harder as the state of Israel and these various like the ADL and stuff try to conflate everything that Israel does with the Jewish people at large. Um, but we have to do that at every turn. Always remember, it is never the Jewish people, it is the Zionists. It is the political project of Israel that are causing these atrocities. Um, and I'm really sorry that his family was killed. I wish that he didn't do this. But yeah. Photographs of an FBI raid on Ghazali's reported residence in Dearborn Heights, a Detroit suburb with a large Lebanese community, appeared on the website of the New York Post on Friday. Ghazali came to the U.S. in 2011 on a family-related visa as the spouse of a U.S. citizen and was granted U.S. citizenship in 2016, according to DHS. I'm sure we're not going to see any ramifications at all from this. There's never been a tragedy that the U.S. government has not used to increase the racist agitprop against the U.S. citizens and make them as fearful as possible of people from other countries. The New York Times reported Friday that Ghazali had a job at Hamido, a Mediterranean food restaurant in Dearborn Heights, but had been missing from work in recent weeks. A colleague said, "He's the face of the restaurant," Rami Carr, a regular diner, told the newspaper, "I've known him for years." An Israeli airstrike killed 4 people in the eastern Lebanon town of Mashgara on March 5th. Lebanon's state agency and the Lebanese health ministry reported. A woman was also wounded. Yeah, I mean, again, they're literally like exporting anti-Semitism and terrorism across the world. Like every civilian that you kill will lead to like a future terrorist attack. Like, and if you kill all of the civilian, like as many civilians as possible, you're going to lead to like so many more attacks than uh, like I don't know. It's really just like we've destabilized so much the Middle East so much. Like, unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that this happened. Coinciding with U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran that began last month, Israel also once again began attacking its neighbor Lebanon in an effort to eradicate the Iran-backed Hezbollah militancy. It's going to fail yet again, but it's going to kill a lot of civilians in Lebanon. The bombardment of Lebanon, which is continuing, marked a significant escalation in Israel's growing offensive there, which began after Hezbollah fired missiles and drones into Israel in early March in retaliation for the attacks on Iran, as the conflict has mounted and widened rapidly. Israel was always going to attack Lebanon again at this point, whether Hezbollah did this or not. Israel will eventually get tired of bombing Iran because it's too much work. They're very lazy people. They would much rather send bombs right across their border than have to spend all this time and effort, like flying planes all the way over to Iran and bombing them. Um, so I think that they're going to end up just taking out all of their anger at the fact that they couldn't defeat Iran in any way or in any meaningful way, and they're going to take it all out on the Lebanese people, unfortunately, which is really sad and will probably lead to a lot more of these types of incidents in the United States. A local official in Mashgara in central Lebanon told the Associated Press on Friday that Ghazali's 2 brothers and a niece and nephew were killed at their home in the March 5th airstrike just after sunset as they were having their fast breaking meal during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. The official, who requested anonymity because he could not publicly discuss details of the airstrike, told the AP that Qasim and Ibrahim were killed along with Ibra- Ibrahim Ghazali's children, Ali and Fatima. It's so sad. Ibrahim Ghazali's wife was seriously wounded and remains in the hospital, the official said. Man, I can't even imagine. I hope that she's okay. This is very, very, very sad. The official said that Qasim Ghazali was a well-known soccer coach and personal trainer, while Ibrahim was a school bus driver in the village. The official added that Ayman Ghazali's father was in the U.S. and returned to Lebanon recently. Um, Iskandar Baraka, the mayor of Mushkara, religiously and politically diverse town of about 25,000 in the Bekaa Valley, told The Guardian he did not know why the Ghazali residence was targeted, because Israel like targets civilians. Like that's why. I don't even think they tried to come up with excuses at this point. I asked a lot, but no one said anything. He wasn't affiliated with any party, Baraka said. The mayor added that 2 multi-apartment blocks in the town were hit, as well as a community center, a school. They love bombing schools. It's their favorite thing. That was damaged indirectly, and a Christian cemetery. Ooh, that's not going to go over with the Tucker Carlsons and the people who only care about Palestinians and Lebanese people when they're Christian. In Mashgara, you can consider it like Lebanon itself. Among Christians, you have Roman Catholics, Greek Orthodox, Protestants, Maronites, and Latins, he said. Among the Muslim groups, you have Shia, Druze, Sunnis. As for political parties, everything exists there. Every party in the world is represented. Thursday's incident at the Michigan synagogue resulted in the vehicle driven by the suspect catching on fire, and black smoke could be seen billowing from the building. Our security officer was hit by the vehicle and knocked unconscious, but did not suffer life-threatening injuries, the local Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard said, and 30 law enforcement officials were treated for smoke inhalation. Okay. So nobody got hurt, really, it seems, which honestly is like a minor miracle, it sounds like. Um, Cassie Cohen, director of strategic development at Temple Israel, was in the hallway where the crash happened. She described hearing a loud bang and said she grabbed a few staff members, ran into her office, and locked the door. When I heard the crash, I knew it was bad. She said the crash happened near a classroom. In addition to the children, there were also more than 30 staff members in the synagogue. Rabbi Ariana Gordon from Temple Israel thanked the security team, law enforcement, and early childhood teachers for getting the children out safely and reunited with their parents amid the chaos and fear. About a dozen parents sprinted to get their children soon after the authorities cleared the building. Other families were reunited at a nearby Jewish community center. Allison Jacobs, whose 18-month-old daughter is enrolled, said she got a message from a teacher saying the children were okay even before she knew what happened. There are no words. I was in complete and utter shock, she said. Synagogues around the world have been on edge and further ramping up security since the US and Israel launched a war with Iran with missile strikes on 28 February. Yes, never forget to correlate these two things. This would not be happening if we were not at war with Iran. This would not be happening. These incidents would not be happening if Israel wasn't destabilizing the entire Middle East. This would not be happening if Israel didn't attempt genocide against the Palestinians, an ongoing and inherently destabilizing event that has been going on for 100 years, not 100, but close to it at this point. Um, we can like we can always acknowledge that this is an unfortunate incident that happened, that a person decided to make like a bad decision and do these things as an individual. But we also just need to be honest about like the nature of the human condition is that if you kill all of their family, there's going to be a significant portion of people who are going to go down this route. That's just inevitable. Like you you can't not expect that to happen whenever you're doing these things. And you can try to prevent the reactions from causing any damage as much as you can, but I think you're probably gonna, inevitably some are gonna get through or whatever. Which is why we shouldn't destabilize the regions like this, at all. But Donald Trump said on Thursday, it's incredible that things like this happen and called the Michigan's attack a terrible thing. However, Stephen Ingberg, the CEO of the Jewish Federation of Detroit, said, I'd love to say that I'm shocked, that I'm surprised, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not either. Because Israel and America are destabilizing every Middle Eastern country. We're killing the families of, thousands upon thousands of people. Um, yeah, I'm not shocked either. Oakland County is Michigan's second largest county with roughly 1.3 million people. The majority of Detroit area Jewish residents live there. Temple Israel has 12,000 members according to its website. At a similar time to the attack on the synagogue, a gunman killed one and injured two in a shooting in the Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. I don't know anything about that one, by the way. I don't know who did it or if there's any motivations that have been released. That incident could also have resulted in more carnage after the suspect opened fire in a classroom of students doing military training with the Reserve Officers Training Corps, a college-based program, but he was subdued and killed by some of the students. Man, yeah, you gotta grow up quick in America. The suspect was later identified by authorities as Mohammed Jallah, or Jallo, a former member of the Army National Guard who pleaded guilty in 2016 to attempting to provide material support to the Islamic State. The authorities said he shouted the Arabic phrase Allahu Akbar, meaning Allah is the greatest or God is great. A pretty similar phrase to what we have in America. God is great is if you go to any uh, church, you'll hear that is great, and the FBI is investigating the shooting as an alleged act of terrorism. Yeah, I said before, we're gonna have, you thought ISIS was bad. Wait for super mega mecha ISIS. It's going to be crazy, and it's gonna have way more reach. There's gonna be way more people who are going to be, aligned with it. These are the costs that we will bear eventually. It sucks, but it is inevitable, especially with our current actions. If we stop doing our current actions, then there would be a much less likely chance of these types of things happening.